Alright, what is going on YouTube? Welcome to a 1v1 game in between HuT and TaToH. Just to show you how these people are doing on the ladder, HuT is right now rank 11 and TaToH is rank 14, so it should be a relatively close matchup based on the ratings, although obviously the ratings are not set in stone by any means. TaToH, of course, a very high-level AoE2 player, and to the north there is HuT, a player I don't know much about. In fact, I know nothing about him. I think he has some sort of RTS background, which is either Warcraft or Starcraft or something like that. But if you know some details about this person, feel free to write them in the comments below. And I'm gonna read them and trying to learn them for the next time I'm casting these people. So, as I said it before, currently the way that the Age of Empires 4 recorded game system works is that you can only access recorded games, including ranked games, of players if their profile is set to be private or public. If they set their profile to be private, then you just can't access their recorded games, including ranked games. This is kind of a bad system because their ranked games are technically publicly spectatable. The problem is that right now many lobbies don't show up in Age of Empires 4, so you can't find the live games of these players. But yeah, this basically limits me pretty heavily when it comes to just being able to find recorded games of certain people. I would love to see some other people, aside from AoE2 pros, playing the game, but as I said, I'm somewhat restricted by this kind of underwhelming and bad system. Anyways, we'll have HuT on top with the red Abbasids, and down south is also Abbasids for TaToH in blue. He's gonna open with the berries, whereas on the other side, HuT is just going for the sheep. And it looks like he's already making the House of Wisdom. And he's about to go up with the resource bank he already has. It's already a pretty decent resource bank that he has. He's just not adding villagers on wood. So the idea for him is that he gathers the food and gold early. And he's gonna gather the wood he needs for additional buildings while he's going up to Feudal Age. So the way that the Abbasids age up is that they build a wing on the House of Wisdom. This basically works just like a technology is researched. You press the button and you wait until it finishes. It's a steady 2 minutes for either of these wings, and each of them unlocks one technology per age. Usually you go up with the economy wing because this gives you the technology, fresh food stuff, which is going to reduce the villager cost by 50%. Very powerful technology. The other one that's reasonable for Feudal Age is preservation of knowledge, which gives you 30% reduction on technologies. But in most cases, economy wing is the way to go. TaToH is luring in a wolf here with his scout. That's actually very surprising. And the reason why it's surprising is because he's getting no benefit from killing that wolf. If he was Rus, I would understand it because he gets gold for killing it. If his opponent was Rus, I would also understand it because he lures it in and the opponent can't kill it for gold. But with the Abbasids, I'm just not so sure why he's doing it right now. So that's a bit of a mystery to me. He also made a second scout on his TC, something that he does quite often. It's a very TaToH thing to do. It gives him more control over the map early on, and I think it works really nicely when he's playing against the Rus. Obviously, if he makes an additional scout on the TC, he's gonna be down one villager because obviously you're using your TC to make a scout. But the idea for TaToH, and it I think works pretty well when he is fighting against the Rus, is that he's gonna have two scouts, so he's got a bit more map presence, and he can prevent the opponent from killing as many huntables as he would normally do. So, TaToH is about 30% in to Feudal Age, and it looks like he's going up with the military wing, which is a little surprising. The military wing is one of the more underwhelming Feudal Age wings that you can actually go for. The technologies it unlocks is just mediocre compared to 50% reduction on villager cost. You would get the armor of nearby infantry to camos buffed a tiny bit, but this is very, very situational, and it's nowhere close to the quality of the fresh foodstuffs upgrade. The Castle Age technology from the military wing is actually pretty nice, which gives Camo Riders a lot of extra melee armor, but this is the reason why military wing at earliest is built when you're going up to Castle Age and not before that. So it's a bit of a surprise here from TaToH. Meanwhile, for HuT, he's mining stone, which means that he wants to go for a second town center. This spot here would be very nice for him. It would protect the berries, would protect the trees, and of course the big gold mine as well. On this map, the players can actually vote themselves rather easily. As you see, there's just narrow crossings leading to your own hill. You have one big gold mine as well on top of your hill, but most of the gold is down here in between the players, just as much as the sacred sites are. So there's the second TC for HuT, and he's gonna have that on the berries, on the gold, and on the wood. That's a beautiful town center. That was going for a stable. That's an interesting idea. I wonder what he wants to go for. I don't think horsemen would do a whole lot, because raiding this wood line, I mean, it might kill one or two villagers, but it's too close to the TC to do a whole lot of damage. And on this side, for HuT as well, same thing. Town center is gonna protect the berries. Now, here's the deal. Before you actually start getting those berries, you probably want a mill, because if you place a mill on the berries of the Abbasids, they actually get these little fences, which buffs the amount of food that they have on it. So you see, instead of 250 food, it's now 500. So you want to place a mill close to those berries, so that you actually have more food on them. That's a thing for the Abbasids, and that's a thing for the Delhi. So that's why HuT is not satisfied just by dropping a TC here. He also drops a mill, so that he actually gets the benefit of that. Looks like HuT is going for ranges, which will probably result in Camel Archers, an expensive but very powerful unit for the Abbasids, and it looks like TaToH's villager here is gonna get intercepted. It's a forward will, so I wonder if he wants to go for a couple of forward ranges or something like that. Meanwhile, TaToH's making scouts now. That is a surprise. What's the concept with scouts? He just finished professional scouts. He wants to ferry in deer, apparently. But I feel like it's so inefficient here. He has a patch of deer that he hasn't touched, and he's bothering with the deer ferrying. I don't like that. The professional scouts upgrade is very expensive. It's 75 wood, 275 gold. So, not something that you really want to grab early in Feudal Age unless it's absolutely beneficial for you. And I don't think it's beneficial for TaToH. You see, he's bringing in deer right next to his TC when he has a patch of deer that he could take without all of those technologies researched, and he would save a huge amount of gold that way. Here's the forward range, and in general, as we see Camel Archers coming out for HuT, Food Archers are supposed to be able to beat Cav Archers and Camel Archers because they have higher range, cheaper, and it's easier to mass. However, TaToH started making the Archers a little late, compared to his opponent making the Camel Archers, so it's very possible that TaToH will just get outnumbered here by Camels, and he is gonna lose his forward will before the second Archer range finishes. So you see that it's easier to get Archers out, but the Archers are obviously weaker one-on-one compared to the Camels, and since the Camels are right next to the Archer ranges, obviously, TaToH cannot use his range advantage either. It looks like a couple of Archers will be mixed in as well. And we are going up to 3 ranges here for HuT even. Now, the problem here for TaToH is that he's going to have to potentially cancel that range. And in general, this range is not going to do much. He's going to have to scramble back at home for multiple ranges. He's going to play triple ranges. Also going for the Horseman in here. Now, TaToH is playing 1 TC, his opponent is playing 2 TCs, and HuT has gotten the villager cost upgrade, so he's gonna boom away from TaToH in terms of resources. TaToH couldn't actually get that upgrade, that's the reason why Camels increase nearby infantry by... Why? But why this for TaToH? I'm so confused. I like the defensive tower on the gold and the wood, that's a good tower from TaToH, but I'm really confused at why TaToH is going for that upgrade. I mean, it's gonna affect the camels and the infantry. I don't see a single camel, but there is 1 or 2 coming out. So I'm gonna be fine with that. But where is the infantry at for TaToH? Or does that affect archers as well? I think I read a comment somewhere where it said, I'm not 100% sure, but about a different technology. Someone said that the game basically considers cavalry and infantry, and archers are considered infantry for whatever reason. If that's the case, it might work for TaToH. Let's see. I want to check their armor right now. There is no armor on the archers. If that's the case, the archers' armor would increase by having the camels around, and it actually works. Woo! This I did not know. Okay, take notes, everybody. It looks like the game considers the archers actual infantry. This actually is pretty massive, because if it's just for spearmen, it's meh. But if it's for archers as well, suddenly it's a quite different situation. Is it better than the villager discount? I don't think so, because with that villager discount you can just flood archers, as you see HuT is doing it right now. Is it HuT or HuT? Once again, if you know this player, feel free to tell me in the comments. So yeah, there's gonna be a couple of camos, but I think what HuT needs to do right now is that he just needs to snipe down those camos, and then suddenly TaToH's forces are much weaker. And when the dust settles, TaToH's at 32 eco, and HuT is already at 49. He's walling himself off on the left and the right with the palisades. So I feel like, yeah, I understand what TaToH is trying to do with that bonus, but that bonus is just insignificant compared to what HuT is getting for his second town center over here. It's already 2 TCs, and that boom is just so easy for HuT with the villager discount. And when he gets the castle age, he can also get the agriculture, which would help with the farm getter rate. And I mean, if they're not fighting until castle age, HuT can still go up to castle with the military wing and just get the same effect as TaToH has. But this is a good thing to know, that this actually affects archers as well. This could be very helpful when you're doing something like camos, like not necessarily ranged camos, but even melee camos, and archers or crossbowmen as your army. Currently it's 90 population for HuT, and TaToH's at 64. Let's see if that bonus works out well for TaToH. HuT is also positioning all his forces on the right side of TaToH's base, so TaToH might actually have the window to push HuT's base right now. I'm looking at HuT, he hasn't gotten a single armor upgrade. I don't think that he has a blacksmith yet. He has just gotten a blacksmith up, but he doesn't have the resources for the technologies yet. Here come the archers, and TaToH going for a defensive tower. It might finish just in time. It's gonna be pretty close. It's gonna be very close. Doubt tower. Yup. That's a proper doubt tower. All the villagers went down over there. Now TaToH should be able to hold this one with the help of the defensive tower, plus some horsemen. The horsemen would be very helpful here for TaToH, and now he's got the effect of the camos. So let's see how much they actually help here. Because TaToH's got 32 archers, his opponent, HuT, has, I think, slightly less, but doesn't have the extra armor here. So that actually is pretty massive. And it looks like HuT's forces are getting cleaned up. Keep in mind that HuT is still ahead economically by quite a bit. It's 57 wheels compared to 34. So TaToH needs to win a very, very good fight over here to snowball the game. He needs to push the eco of the opponent really heavily here to compensate for his lack of eco. And now the camos are going back, so this is not amazing anymore for TaToH. You see that he no longer has the buff effect of the camos, and I think HuT is getting the defense upgrade or the attack upgrade in soon, so that would actually change things soon. You see, he already has the attack upgrade, and he is getting the defense upgrade in right now. So I don't think that this camo buff is working anymore for TaToH. Looking at TaToH, he has gotten the attack upgrade, not the defense upgrade yet. Is Castle Age on the way for HuT? Yes, there is, and he's going up with the military wing, so he's probably going to do the same thing as TaToH. He's going to get the camo support once he gets there. Right now, it's 43 archers for HuT. TaToH's actually making a battering ram, as those archers are dancing around the battering ram like it's a holy fire or something. It could technically work, because HuT is almost exclusively archers. So if 3 battering rams could easily steamroll the production, and then suddenly HuT would have nothing to make army with in Castle Age. This dance looks so awkward. Not all of the archers can actually get close to the ram to build it, so they just dance around it like there is no tomorrow. I think TaToH probably wants a third one. Nope, he's satisfied with 2. Can he push up here? That's the question. Currently, it's 1 ranged armor for those archers, 2 for TaToH's one. He's got the attack upgrade as well. HuT needs to snap the camos, and you see, TaToH is actually keeping the camos at the back. That's very, very smart. That's super smart. Because if the camos are killed, then TaToH is gonna lose that buff. But here come the rams, and I mean, 1 camo is still alive for TaToH. He's actually overextending a tiny bit. There is no camo support anymore. HuT losing a couple of archers over here. Camo is back in the party. TaToH could reinforce a couple more camos so that he can actually keep that buff up. There's the first range going down. HuT is still not up to Castle Age, and even when he gets up there, he needs the Camo support upgrade. HuT's resources are looking way better. But can TaToH snowball this game before its spiral is out of control? He's gonna kill a couple of Wills here with those archers if they decide to do so, and not just dance around the battering ram. So here comes another range going down. HuT is making stables though, and he's gonna get some Lancers out. Uh-oh, now that's a problem for TaToH. That's a serious problem for TaToH. Because these archers do basically nothing against Lancers. About 6 or so Lancers would be enough meat shield in front of this entire thing to melt TaToH's army. And TaToH is going full Feudal Age. If he has some Spearmen, that might help, but I just feel like HuT's going to switch into Knights here and snowball this one. Knights and Lancers are the same units, just different, like, civilization, basically. Like, the Abbasids never had Knights, historically, so they're called Lancers, but it's the same unit. So yeah, TaToH is actually doing quite a lot of damage here. Maybe if he launches this attack 1 or 2 minutes earlier, this could have been different. Because then there is no heavy units here for HuT. But I feel like we're just waiting for a couple of upgrades here. Camo support as well for HuT, so he would get the same buff as TaToH does. We're also waiting for the defense upgrade for HuT. And now comes the heavy cavalry, and I feel like that's the end of the story for TaToH. You see, those archers are barely able to take down one knight, let alone a flood of them. And as I said, there is currently no camos here for HuT. TaToH is trying to bring back some camel archers here to fight this, but I think HuT will now destroy the battering rams, and that should be the end of the story for TaToH because he's not going into Castle Age. HuT playing really well here. I'm really looking forward to seeing these players in the Genesis $20,000 1v1 event that's coming up for AoE4 in the next couple of weeks, because I'm really curious to see all these non-AoE2 players competing in here. HuT plays the Abbasid strong here and takes the win. Nice reactions from him. He saw the archers and he was like, okay, I'm gonna jump on those archers with some heavy cavalry. So nice evaluation of the situation. And for TaToH, while I do appreciate the thought process of using the camo bonus, and it was a smart way of doing it, I feel like that camo bonus is still less important than the eco advantage that you can get from the villager discount. Even if it's a 1 TC play from HuT, that upgrade would have had a way more effect than what TaToH's upgrade had. So I think that at this point, with the 50% villager discount, it's almost guaranteed that the Abbasid player has to go for the economy wing to age up the Feudal Age. It's such a good technology, it's relatively cheap as well, something that you can't really afford to skip, especially in an Abbasid Mirror.